So now I just wanted to go over this left-hand side of the start menu. This is the File Explorer. You can also see it down here. Opens up the same thing. Just another way to get to it. That's what's always so great about Windows. Here are your settings. This is worth exploring. These are your notifications. This is where you can turn all of these things kind of on and off. Multitasking, battery saver, your power and sleep functions. I'm going to go back here. These are devices, networks and internets, how you personalize your start menu. Your desktop now is the start menu. It'd have the same one as we had before, but I kind of like the window. That was kind of cool. And then there is your access to your accounts, ease of access, languages, privacy. You want to take a look at that before you get started. Some people don't like the location things turned on, but there are certain applications that really do require it, so then you'll have to decide. And one of the important things too, Windows Update is always important. Make sure that your laptop is always up to date. There's Defender, there's backup and recovery, etc. Okay, so we talked about the power button being here. We also went over the apps. I'm just going to scroll here with my mouse. Same functionality. You can pin something to the start bar. You can pin it to the taskbar. All you do is right click and then you get those featured functions. Okay, so let's explore notifications. It's here on the right hand side. This is where you'll be notified of new mail if you set up a Microsoft account. Here I have various options: tablet mode, note, all settings, connect, battery saver, etc. So we'll go through each one of these, not all of them, but I'll show you a couple of different things. The most notable thing about this that I think is really neat is you can turn these on and off. For example, quiet hours. If I want to snooze the sounds and any types of notifications, I just turn it on. For location, here it's easy enough. I can turn it on and I can turn it off. For brightness, do the same thing. It's not about turning this tile on and off. It's just about reducing the brightness or increasing the brightness. And I can also go to settings to have it controlled either via battery or whether or not I'm charging at the time. Battery saver, the same thing. Airplane mode. There's also Bluetooth you can turn on and off. Tablet mode. Look what happens to the screen now. Kind of looks like Windows 8 that we were going over before, right? So tablet mode, you can turn this one on and off as well. Here are my tiles. If you like the Windows 8, I actually like the Windows 8. I like the Windows 10 too. So they've maintained some of the functionality there. I'm just going to turn this one off. Minimize this one. We're going to go back to notifications. All settings. And so from the Action Center, this is yet another way to reach your settings. We also saw it here on the left-hand side. Right here, goes to the exact same place. There's usually more than one way to get there. That's the great thing about Windows. We go back here to tablet mode. I also wanted to mention that the purpose of the tablet mode also too is that it's optimal for touch. If we click here on the left-hand side, we can see here's a power function to power down or restart your machine. And then also this little icon right here actually opens up your apps in case you are looking for something or decided that you wanted to pin it to your start menu. So to wrap up the Action Center, everything here is generally about one click on, one click off, or one click takes you to all settings as we saw. And with the exception of the one for the brightness, as you can see, I can continue to click and the screen will get brighter, but I can just simply adjust that from my keyboard if I so desire. It's also about again, keeping things right there at your fingertips, very easy go-to menu. I think it's a fantastic idea. Now, let's move on to the brand new Microsoft Edge. It's a new browser that's actually made for Windows 10. Absolutely fantastic. Just take you over here to the Start menu. Go back to Microsoft Edge page, an introduction where it shows you here you could write on the web, read distraction free, and your new built-in personal assistant that's called Cortana. We haven't gotten to her yet, but we will in just a second. Also here, you can take a tour if you like, and it will show you how things work, but it's not really that hard to kind of figure out if you're one of these people that you read the directions last, you want to try everything first. I'm kind of one of those people, so that's what I did. Probably taking a tour at a later date might not be a bad idea. So, I've already gone to a web page. The beauty of this here is you can actually make annotations. So, on the right hand side, I can click on this little bar. I can actually use my finger, or I can use a stylus if I want. Make annotations. I can highlight. Now I do wish that there was a way to make things in a straight line, because I cannot draw a straight line to save my life, but nevertheless I can still highlight the first line. Highlight things that are interesting. I can also make a note if I wanted to type something. That's pretty interesting. And then I can save the web note here. I can add it as a favorite. I can put it in OneNote. I can also choose to share it if I like. And this is where I could email it to a friend. Hey, I found this website interesting. You might be interested in seeing it. I can open up my email. I already have my Microsoft account set up. So I could email myself to my Yahoo account or anyone else something that I think is incredibly interesting. And then, as always, if I decide to save this as a favorite, I can add it to my favorites list, or I can add it to a reading list. And then I could go here to retrieve it. Here's the reading list. I added it to the reading list. I could pick something from my favorites. I don't have anything saved yet. And any annotations that I actually made would be in the OneNote bar. And then here is the more actions window. I could pin it to start. I could also open a new window, an in private window, settings for Explorer. So that's your quick introduction to Microsoft Edge. I really like this browser. I like being able to send interesting things to my friend or to my husband. Hey, look, this movie is coming out. The only thing I have to do is I just have to click on share and email. So that's your introduction to Microsoft Edge. I really do like this browser. It's very interesting. I'm forever finding things on the net, and you can't annotate typically on a web page. Obviously, we all know that. And to be able to annotate a web page, send it to myself, save it to OneNote so I can go back and review it later, it's quite the novel idea. The other thing is opening up a new page, you just click the arrow. I like being able to send information maybe to my dad or to someone else, for example, hey, look, Buick's got this new great model out. Never seen Buick quite like this. So I do really like the dynamic email. I know that there are a few that can actually do this, but this makes it a little bit more dynamic as opposed to just, dropping a link inside an email. It's way more interesting to read. The way that they put insert the picture there, then it's got the link, and then it's got just a little bit of information about what the article's about, etc.